Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, McFarlane DC Multiverse Blue Lantern Kyle Rayner. This is the third version of Kyle Rayner that McFarlane has made, and this is completely different. He's not part of the Green Lantern Corps, he's part of the Blue Lantern Corps. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus. This is a McFarlane Gold Label Collection figure. A Gold Label Collection is simply an exclusive to any different retailer, whether it be Target, Walmart, Amazon, McFarlane Toy Store, or Entertainment Earth. DC Multiverse Blue Lantern Kyle Rayner. Here he is in the package. He has a lantern, a couple of constructs, a display stand, and a collector's card. One side of the package, Blue Lantern Kyle Rayner from War of the Green Lanterns. Other side, Blue Lantern Kyle Rayner. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode, if that helps anybody. And on the back side, here he is, posed up from the comic. So no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He comes with a lantern charger, 2 constructs for his fists, and then a display stand and a collector's card. But before we take a look at those, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Kyle Rayner as a Blue Lantern. During the War of the Green Lanterns, Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Guy Gardner, and Kyle Rayner were all forced to get creative. They ended up donning a new ring. Kyle became the Blue Lantern. Guy joined the Red Lanterns. John joined the Indigo Tribe. And Hal joined the Sinestro Corps. The Blue Lantern Corps represents hope. So let's take a look at him. As you can see, starting with his face here, he has a goofy smile, the blackest night Kyle had. I'll tell you, this blue looks fantastic. It really pops. It contrasts with the black very nicely. Hair parted in the middle. He's got that typical signature Kyle mask on. He's got the sort of lantern logo on his chest. The texturing on the suit is phenomenal. Look at all the detailing on the blue there. And then even on the black parts, we have different kind of texturing, different kind of detailing. On his fist here, we have the Blue Lantern, although a little bit of a better paint job could kind of bring that out. It looks like it's blending in with the glove. Looks to be complete reuse in this figure, but he looks really sharp. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, another color lantern to add to the McFarlane collection, and just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. I really like that shade of blue they used. It is fantastic. Now let's take a look at his accessories, and let's start off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand, typical McFarlane stand, black perfect circle. It says DC on the bottom. It's got one peg for the pegals on his feet, very thin, very basic. Now for his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of Kyle Rayner as a Blue Lantern from the comics. Kyle Rayner, Blue Lantern, War of the Green Lanterns. On the back, there is a description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. Here's his collector's card in the middle, next to the blackest night Kyle Rayner, and then changing the guard on the right. Now for his constructs. We have 2 of them, sort of energy blasts that are going to fit around his fists. You can see where his hand's going to fit into the inside. They're cast in a semi-transparent plastic. And they appear to be identical to the same constructs that came with the Parallax Hal Jordan. Here's Kyle with these constructs over his fists, doing some kind of Mega Man super punch. Now let's look at his lantern, also made of a semi-transparent plastic with a blue tint. You can see where the charger ring at the front here. It also seems to be the exact same as Parallax's accessory. Here's Kyle, recharging his power ring. Now I wanted to check out the reuse of this figure. We have the blackest night Kyle Rayner on the left, and the changing the guard on the right. Changing guard has some unique parts, but this Blue Lantern is 100% the same body sculpt down to the hands and smile as the blackest night Kyle Rayner. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 7.2 inches tall, which can translate to about 18 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, you can rotate from side to side. He can look up a little bit, down about that far. Can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes out a little bit more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area. Increase the range of motion and cover that large gap. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows. His wrists, it can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. He's got a ball joint in his torso. Rotate around, forward and back. The torso is very tight. Another one is waist. Rotate around, forward and back, giving him a pretty good range of motion in his torso area. You get a lot more out of the waist than the torso. Legs, complete as splits, not a ball joint. McFarlane style hip joints. Legs go forward about that much. Back, not at all. Rotation, it's not too bad. Double jointed knees below that. Then his ankle here, can rotate, forward and back, tilt, rock, and he has toe articulation. Here's Kyle Rayner, Blue Lantern, hovering in the sky. And here he is, soaring through the skies, energy around his fists. Here's Kyle Rayner, Blue Lantern, taking on a couple of red lanterns, defending the hope of the earth. Now let's check him out. Next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Kyle Rayner figures. Here he is, next to the Blackest Night, Kyle Rayner. He's in his traditional Green Lantern attire, and he is 100% the same sculpt as his Blue Lantern Kyle. And here he is, next to Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern from Changing the Guard. In my opinion, this is the best version. I like his suit a lot better. Here are all three of the Kyle Rayner figures. My favorite is Changing the Guard, but this blue one probably looks the best. Then, next to both McFarlane's Hal Jordan Green Lantern figures, Rebirth, and then Parallax. And now, next to all of McFarlane's John Stewart figures, here's Kyle, next to Dawnbreaker. And here he is, next to all the different McFarlane Green Lantern figures they've made so far. Here's Kyle, next to all the different Black Lantern figures McFarlane has made. Then, next to McFarlane's Red Lantern figures. Here are all the different various McFarlane Lantern figures. Black Lanterns, Red Lanterns, Green Lanterns, and a Blue Lantern. And there are many more other colors to choose from. I'm shocked we haven't gotten any Yellow Lanterns yet, specifically Sinestro. Here are all the different McFarlane Toy Store exclusive figures they've released so far. The next one to come out is going to be the Dick Grayson Robin figure. We have Hush Superman, Arkham Knight, Red Hood and Scarecrow, Blue Lantern Kyle Rayner, metallic version of Captain Cold, Unmasked Zur-En-Arrh Batman and Infinite Frontier Robin, and then Rebirth Flash. And before anyone says I forgot the superpowers of Mr. Freeze, that is not a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, simply a Platinum Chase variant. There's also a Platinum Chase variant of the Jake Garrick Flash. Hope to get one soon. Here's Kyle, next to another DC superhero, in an unusual blue variant suit. Now let's check him out, next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the most recent Build-A-Figure wave. Collect-A-Build, Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. This is the Dark Knight Trilogy wave. And here he is, next to Duke Thomas the Signal, Con-El Superboy, and Jake Garrick the Flash. Then, next to the Kingdom Come Armored Batman, and the Dark Knight's Metal Gladiator Batman. And now, next to the most recent Batman wave, Nightfall Catwoman, Hush Batman, both versions of Mr. Freeze, and Infinite Frontier Joker. Here's Kyle, next to the Walmart exclusive Gold Label Vampire Batman and Eradicator. And here he is, next to the Target exclusive Gold Label Deadman and Flashpoint Aquaman. Then, next to the Shazam 2 Movie Shazam and the Amazon exclusive Tim Drake Robin. And now, next to the Amazon exclusive Batman Family 5-Pack. Here's Kyle, next to the two most recent McFarlane Mega figures, Frankenstein and Mongol. And here he is, next to the most recent McFarlane Gaming Wave. We have the Arkham City Sick Joker and the Arkham Knight Scarecrow and Red Hood. Then, with McFarlane's Mortal Kombat 11 DC offerings, the Batman Who Laughs, and both versions of Joker. Now let's check him out, next to some recent McFarlane collective Build-A-Figure waves. Here he is, next to the Target exclusive Crime Syndicate collective build Star the Conqueror wave. And here he is, next to the Speed Metal wave, collective build The Darkest Night. Then, next to the Batman Arkham City wave. Collect to build an undersized Solomon Grundy. And here he is, next to the Walmart exclusive gold label black and gray variants. Here's Kyle, next to the third wave of Page Punchers. This is a Flash themed wave. We have the Flash, Atom, Heatwave, Grithy Grodd, and both versions of Captain Cold. Then, next to the second wave, this is based off Injustice 2, Dr. Fate, Supergirl, Batman, and Green Arrow. And finally, next to the first wave of Page Punchers, this is a Black Adam themed wave. Batman, Superman, Constantine, and Black Adam. Now let's check them out. Next to some action figures from different various companies to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect and work my way smaller, and I'm going to include as many Green Lantern figures as I can during these comparisons. But first, let's check them out with some of the McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, with some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures, here's Kyle, next to a bag of Bolio rolls. These are awesome for sandwiches. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, standing with some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, with some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's a nice figure, but it's definitely not a necessary one. I really appreciate the changing the guard Kyle Lantern. It's my favorite of the different Kyle Rayner figures. Now this one visually looks fantastic. The blue, the texture in the suit, it's all great. But I don't really need Kyle Rayner as a Blue Lantern. That being said, they did an excellent job executing this figure, even though it's 100% reuse and repaint, even down to the accessories. The accessories are cool. Sculpt and paint job are actually fantastic. Articulation is everything you'd expect from a McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. My enjoyment level is not quite as high as I'd like. It's not a necessary figure. But the blue just looks so nice. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.